Hi, FlossTube! Welcome back. This is Robin, and this is my channel, Lady Robins. You can also find me on Instagram under the same name, Lady Robins. And this is a FlossTube channel where I talk about cross-stitch. If you're new here, welcome. I'm so glad you found me, and I hope you stay and find something to inspire you. And for all my subscribers, welcome back. I am happy that you're here and we're together again. Today is Tuesday. It is the 5th of May. Happy Cinco de Mayo. And this is my FlossTube number 31. 31. Here we are. All right. So how are you guys doing? We have had a busy week. I am surprised how quickly my week got filled up with telecommuting, but it sure did. I feel like somehow last week was so much busier than the week before that I didn't get quite as much stitching done as I would have liked. Some weeks are like that, right? Yeah. Do you find that? Some weeks are busier than others, and it feels like I was doing the exact same thing, but I don't know what happened. It was just busier. Oh well. Okay, I'm having myself an iced vanilla latte. It is almost, I think it's almost 70 degrees out. We are going to have a fantastic week here in the Pacific Northwest. The news people are saying we might even get up to 80 on Saturday, which sounds delightful. And if that happens, I will not be cross-stitching. I am gonna go hit the water. We have some kayaks out at my parents' little lake cabin. So if it is 80, I'm gonna be kayaking. That is my plan. Yep, that's my big plan. Oh, I forgot to show you which mug we're doing today. Today we're in beautiful Edmonton. So my vanilla latte and I are here to talk about cross-stitch with you. I learned a new skill this week, and I did not do a good job, but with this being week 189 million of stay at home and stay safe, my husband finally gave in. I cut his hair. Yep, I got out the scissors. I watched 2 YouTube videos on cutting hair, and we put a sheet around his shoulders, and I chopped and snipped his hair. I, did a little bit at a time, and then I did a little bit more, and we can see his ears again. Oh my goodness. I can't believe that we are to the point where we are cutting each other's hair. He hasn't cut my hair yet, but I did a thing. I did a brand new thing. I will be the first to admit I did a lousy job. Somehow I got the sides all shortened up. And, I mean, it's straight across the back, right? But somehow the hairs up here, because, they kind of fall over onto the side. I'm noticing that I didn't get this top portion trimmed. I'm not sure I touched it at all. So we're laughingly calling it his comb over, even though he is not bald and he doesn't really have a comb over with these longer hairs running down to the side. Yeah, we might have to head out to the back deck and try it again. Try to even some of that up. Yeah. Here in Washington, our governor has extended our stay-at-home orders through May 31st. So he will be home through May 31st telecommuting, and I will probably be too. Our governor is trying to slowly start opening up the state, so there's a few things that he's going to start phasing in. And in case you're new here, I work in a public library, and he did actually call libraries out in his phased plan, and we would be the 3rd phase to go. So I'm expecting I'm going to be here through May 31st. telecommuting and doing my thing, and that's okay. I feel very safe doing that. I have a number of tasks that I can complete online, so I am in no jeopardy of running out of stuff to do, which is great because you sure don't want to be bored. Oh my goodness. So now that I know I'm going to be telecommuting probably for another 3-4 weeks, I'm kind of more at peace about the whole situation, because I can kind of plan. I don't like it when I don't exactly know where my plan is. I gotta have a little bit of a plan. I can fly by the seat of my pants, kind of, but I'm better if I have a plan. Speaking of plans, yesterday was May 4th. May the 4th be with you. I don't want you to think that I forgot. I was all over that. I was watching, for me, because I'm old, what would be the first Star Wars movie, A New Hope. I was watching that last night, and I was doing a little bit of stitching, and I started my first Maynia piece, because I've told you before, I am doing my own version of Maynia, and I'm just gonna start one new piece every Monday. So I picked up my my first Maynia start and I got a little bit of stitching done on it last night, and I will show you what I selected. Okay, but before I do that, I want to show you the things that I worked on this week. I actually only worked on 2 whips, which is okay. We don't have to, you know, have a whip a day if we don't want to. And apparently I didn't want to. So I went back to my Snowflower Diary. So I'm still working on April. Oh well, it'll get done when it gets done, right? And once I've got them stitched, I'll have them stitched forever and I can swap them out, but I'm still working on April. So what I got done here, let's see, is I got all of the flowers. I'll just fold it in half. I got all the flowers done up here, and I got the bunny filled in. And then I started working on the flowers on the other side, and just am starting to make some progress on the squirrel. So again, this is a free chart. This is why I can show this to you guys. So if you haven't seen this before and you're curious, jump onto your computer and Google Snowflower Diaries. It's a blog, and you'll have to scroll through to find them, but they're all there. All 12 months are there, so I'm slowly working on them. So I thought that worked out pretty doggone well. Yeah, I really love the combinations of the purple and the yellow flowers over here. I just think those are charming. So that was the first thing that I worked on, and I kept telling myself all week, oh, I'll just finish this up and I'll be completely done. There's always more stitching than I think. Oh well, that's okay. It doesn't matter. It'll get done when it gets done. But oh my gosh, these flowers just made something pop into my head. Have you been hearing about those murder hornets? Murder hornets. Oh my gosh. You guys, we took our dog for a walk, my husband and I, yesterday, and I am telling you, now that they've said that the murder hornets are here in Washington, and that, you know, they're 2 inches long, these things. They're just ridiculously big and awful and mean-tempered is what I'm understanding, and that the stinger is so long that it can go through the fabric on a beekeeper's suit, which, yikes, right? And then the venom is poisonous to humans, and 50 people die a year from these crazy murder hornets. So anyway, back to our walk. As we are walking our dog, I am telling you, every single thing that flew in front of me that was, you know, kind of dark, that could have been, you know, a murder hornet, I was like, my husband was like, they're not in Kent. I'm like, well, they could be. I am so hyped up over this crazy hornet situation. I do not like hornets at all. They freak me out, and they're mean. They're just mean. Mean. My dad, out at their lake cabin, my dad, he's so cute. He cleans up nature. You know, there's trees at the back of the property and all this stuff, and my dad will go out there and he will cut off branches and he'll weed in the middle of basically the forest, right? But he's cleaning stuff up. One time he stepped into a ground hornet's nest, and I mean, you know, those things came flying out, and he got stung on the hand, and you know, he beat feet out of there, and he said he had one hornet that was so mad it followed him all the way to the cabin, and he said it just never let up. And that is my impression of hornets, is they are mean stinkers. And they're gonna follow you until they sting you. So I am really unhappy to hear about murder hornets. That was a little rabbit trail, huh? Sorry about that. So yeah, these little flowers made me think of murder hornets. Oh, for crying out loud. Okay, the other thing that I stitched on was my beautiful Jeannette Douglas Cozy into Winter piece. And I think the last time I showed this to you, I know I didn't have any of this greenery done. So I know that all got added on. And then I think I might have had that interior poinsettia done. So slowly but surely, I'm getting this done. And there's the chart, so you can see what that's supposed to look like. And then these 3 rows underneath the basket are all specialty stitches. So I'm looking forward to working on those. So that's it, guys. Those are the only 2 things that I stitched on last week. Like I said, the week I just turned around and the week was gone. But this week, Maynia. What did I pick? Remember, I had 3 possible charts to start for Maynia, and I decided to start with my favorite. I started with Bent Creek, and why not, right? I love Bent Creek. They make me happy. So I started with the Candy Corn of Mischief, and this is super fun. I am having a total blast already. You know, I've only got like 50 stitches in the thing, but I am really having fun. It is, that's my start. So this is stitched on a big, let's see, where's my pattern? I think it's on an 18 count natural linen, and it is stitched with pearl cottons. So, you know, great big, huge needle, you know, the big, thick pearl cotton. This is a new thing for me, and I'm thoroughly digging it. It's interesting to stitch on it and see those great, big, huge X's being created on your fabric. It is super fun. I love everything about it. I love the pattern. I love the materials. I think this will stitch up fairly quickly, which I always think, right? What does that even mean, you guys? Fairly quickly. What I'm finding interesting though is, I've told you before, I stitch in hand and I like to do the sewing method. I'm finding that this does not necessarily lend itself to the sewing method, because when I do the sewing method, you know, I do from the, you know, the top hole to the bottom and, you know, pull it through all in one motion, I find that I'm having a tendency, for whatever reason, to pull it really tight, and it's crushing the linen underneath. But if I stab, you know, and push, you know, stab and pull, that my tension is a whole lot less. So this might not be as quick as I think, because I need to not pull so hard when I do the sewing method. So I don't know if I'm going to be able to overcome that on this piece. Maybe if I just have it in my head, that will be enough to prevent me from, you know, we'll see. But anyway, that is what I chose for Maynia number 1. And the other thing I haven't decided is if I'm going to stitch this all week long, if I'm only going to stitch this, or if I'm going to maybe give it 3 or 4 days and then move on to something else. I haven't quite decided. And I'm just going to let kind of, I don't know, I'm just going to let myself tell myself when it's time to move on, or if it's a-okay to stick where I'm at. I can't tell you because I don't know yet. It's okay. Stitching is stitching, right? As long as we're stitching, we're happy. So that is what I am doing for Maynia. One of my girlfriends just dropped off face masks for my whole family. I've even got some that I can pass along to my parents. I am so thankful. It's not like I don't own a sewing machine. It's just that for whatever reason, I do not want to make these things. I just want them to show up and me to pay people. And she was so lovely, she wouldn't even let me pay her for them. So I have got my masks, so when I have to go shopping, I can be safe out in public. Aren't these cute? Look at this one. She said she did go up to Michael's, and she had to buy a few supplies, and so she did buy some fabric, but this one, kind of the Halloween one, she said that was from a dress that she tried to make her daughter like 25 years ago. I have got vintage Halloween fabric face mask. That is an act of love. She said, at this point, since she's a grown woman, she's never going to fit in it. She figured she could use the fabric in something else. I'm like, that is determination, that you just hung on to that and hung on to that, thinking at some point you'd get back there. And thank you, my friend. You know who you are. Thank you, thank you. I really appreciate these, because I sure didn't want to make any. All right. The internet called to me this morning. I made a purchase this morning on Etsy. Let me show you what I bought and downloaded. I think the fact that I can go on Etsy, buy a cross stitch pattern and download it is like the best thing on the planet. I've never done, you know, my best thing for the week. Others do that, and I'm like, okay, that I think is my best thing, is that I can buy something and have that instant gratification. So I was watching Stephanie Webb of Lindy Stitches. I was watching her latest FlossTube, and she has created a brand new chart for May, just released, called Beautiful Things. Oh my gosh. I love everything about this chart. I love the colors. I love the verse where it says, "Oh my darling, it's true. Beautiful things have dents and scratches too." Perfection. I loved it. The second the video was over, I was on Etsy, I was downloading it, And then because I was there, even though it wasn't in the mail, I mean, I still kind of felt like, you know, there's that rule that charts can't travel by themselves. So I had to buy a second one. And I bought her other May release, which is My Real Face, Mrs. Your Real Face. And boy, is that true for me these days. I was so excited when my girlfriend dropped those masks off, and we stood our 6 feet apart and chatted and chatted and chatted out in my driveway. It was so fun to see a person that's not living in my house. But I think I don't know. I think I've got some fabric that I could stitch this up on and stick in an envelope and mail to her as a thank you. So that's what I think I'm going to do with this one, because there's nothing better than a friend that helps you out, right? And she sure helped me out with those masks. Okay, the other haul, I had placed an order with 123 Stitch a little while ago, and my package arrived Wednesday or Thursday last week, something like that. I got 2 Blackboard design books, and I'm super excited about them. I picked up Home for the Holidays, and I love it. I love it, I love it, I love it. And then their latest one, the Sewing Club, which somehow didn't make it into any of my purchases through my local L&S, so I picked this up through 123 Stitch. So now I've got plenty of stitching, but now I have stitching from here too. One of the things I just wanted, I'm sure you guys all have, you know, all looked through this, but I don't know what it is. I love this little bird and the house. I just love this one. This one, I don't know what it is. It just does it for me. So pretty. So pretty. And I like this one that has been turned into a drum. That's another one that just calls my name. So that is not something I'm planning on stitching right this moment, but somewhere down the road. Another thing I brought up last week on a stitching meetup with some friends, and I'm going to out myself here. One of the things, this is just going to show you how goofy I am, if you don't know that already. One of the things that drives me crazy is if I'm watching a FlossTube or anything, and I can see that somebody has a t-shirt on, right? And I can only see like half of the writing on the t-shirt. And I spend the entire video hoping that they will stand up or they will move so I can see what the whole t-shirt says. So I think on FlossTube it is going to have to be a requirement that you show your entire t-shirt. There needs to be a t-shirt reveal portion on your FlossTube if you've got writing on your shirt. So I'm going to show you I'm going to reveal my t-shirt. I actually love this shirt. Okay. This is my Pemberley 1813 t-shirt from the Fifth Avenue Theater, which is in Seattle, from when I saw their production of Austin's Pride, which if it ever comes to your neck of the woods, you guys, you gotta go see it. It was phenomenal. I loved the story. It was awesome. So there you go. You had your t-shirt reveal. I don't know what it is. Sometimes my mind just goes down these little rabbit trails and it just never reels itself back in. So, t-shirt reveal, folks. We need your t-shirt reveals. At least I do. I I have got to admit, that's all I got for you. I am having a blast watching FlossTube and all of your Maynia starts, and I am wishing you a happy Maynia. Lindy Stitches is doing Stitch Sania. If you're doing that, good for you. If you're doing one start a week like I am, I know there's a couple of you out there. You know who you are. I hope you are totally enjoying your Maynia experience. So for now, I just want to once again thank you for stopping by. Leave me a comment, subscribe, like, do all those things. I appreciate you supporting my channel and being here. And as I like to say, stitch happy, my friends. Okay, I will see you later. Bye.